Good morning. I am so glad you're here with me. By the time you hear this, it'll probably be the evening. But I am going to be talking about understanding generational limiting beliefs, right? Understanding it. So, this is one of the poll questions that two people voted on to understand and hear about. So, I'm going to discuss that today. So, here we go. So, what are generational limiting beliefs, right? They are passed down from generation to generation and can have a profound impact on our lives. Now, these anecdotal things, they don't have any scientific base or support. They're just an idea that came into your mind or into your past generational's mind out of fear. So it is then passed down to you and influences your every move. For example, hearing that I will never fly in an airplane, that is passed down from generation. Why? What happened that you don't want to fly again or never flown? Then how do you know that you won't like flying? How do you know? Oh, they've crashed. Who has come back to tell you they've crashed? You see how it's not based on any evidence at all? It's just something someone passed down to you, and maybe you saw like on television or heard some news that someone had a plane crash, right? And they're no longer here. But you still believe it. It still limits you on where you go and what you do, right? Then there's this another anecdotal little saying that traveling, you can't travel to other countries because you're going to be sex trafficked or taken away or whatever. It's not good to travel to other countries, and we get this idea and then we run with it, and then we believe it, but we've never heard anything to the contrary. Those are the types of things that are generational limiting beliefs. Some others may be, an example, probably most likely around money, right? Around money and how we deal with money, how we literally understand how money is portrayed, and it actually impacts your mindset. It impacts how you direct your decisions, and it also shapes your self-perception, like religion, race, ethnicity, socio-economic status, historical events, or all considered and could qualify that have accumulated from generations before. So even before social media, these things have come out and been talked about and discussed, or more or less not discussed, but actually just said, and you're supposed to believe it. Why do we say that? What's the reason behind it? Did somebody in our family die from a airplane crash? Nothing is ever shared historically. It's always a statement that's shared, but never the historical surroundings of it, the belief why it's there. I interviewed someone whose parents were part of the Depression, and they instilled a belief in her about money and how scarce it was going to be, and she should be saving at all times. And then she shared with me, I saved, but I don't know what I was saving for. Right? This belief may have served them well during their difficult times, but it could be limiting your belief from taking risks and pursuing opportunities in your own life. The quality of the impact of that information, that data we accumulate, and the experiences we exposed ourselves to can have a significant effect on our mindset and beliefs. And remember, I went back to traveling, and we were not supposed to be around this one or that one. But when we expose ourselves to traveling, we open ourselves to new people, new cultures, new ways of thinking. And we can challenge and transform our limiting beliefs into a more positive mindset. And it's all behind traveling. I can't express to you, I wish I traveled sooner, or I traveled, but I didn't travel far enough. I was limited in my own exposure, and I limited my children, but they weren't limited by what I did. They traveled further than me in the U.S., So our mindset is shaped by the data we accumulate. I always wanted them to travel. Didn't know they were until they got older, and they told me, "Yeah, I've been there, and I've been," and they were exposed to, they exposed themselves to other people, other cultures, other, norms, and it was their opportunity to be so much more well-rounded. In just talking to my sons, and we're having conversation, and I said, "Wow, you really know a lot," and it's because they've spoken to different people. They've been exposed to cultural backgrounds and their social norms, and it has influenced how they are personally, and their personal choices, and their life relationships and life events. So if we're exposed to negative data and experiences such as trauma, fear, failure, this can reinforce limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns. So it reinforces, when we experience something negative, that automatically is embedded in our brain. That's when trauma happens, it goes like this in your brain, in your body, and it jolts you. So your brain protects you from that jolt because it startled you, made you afraid, and it stops you. So it starts to say you can't do that. It starts to talk to you, you can't do that, because it's only protecting you from that impact. So how do you get around that impact and get to a place where you can be exposed to great positive data and experiences, such as success, such as growth, such as happiness? How can you transform those limiting beliefs and mindsets into a more positive direction? Right? One thing you can do with your entire life is travel. But I'm going to give you a step before that. It's really having a conversation, going to networking events as a business owner, as someone who is socializing. Let's just say, just a social event. Expose yourself to different social groups. I'm trying to think of the word. Expose yourself to different social groups. Expose yourself to different networking. Learn how to network appropriately, the way that will bring money into your business. Learn that. Be positive. Ask people questions about their culture. Understand, I'm that Y person. So when I meet someone with a very unique name, I said, where did that name come from? It's so unique. And I start a conversation to learn more about them. Right? Stop walking up to people and telling them that you have a business. Start to learn about them and be, thoughtful, or transform your own belief system into what, instead of just being surface, learn to build a relationship with people. Because I've seen that people don't want relationships. They want to create stepping stones to their next business deal or their next social status. They don't want to build relationships with people. And why? Because those limiting beliefs set them up for that. You have to begin to delve into that perfect example. If we have a limiting belief about a certain culture, and when I was getting ready to move to China for that, I think it was 2012, and I was telling everyone, and certain people were saying to me, "Oh, you better be leery of them because they're like this. They're communists. They're this. They're that." And I said, and my question to them, I said, "Oh, you met someone like that?" No, I just heard it. So their answer to me was so finite and so surface that they never experienced it. That they started to instill their inferior thoughts, their dangerous thoughts, their bad thoughts into me, and it was scaring me. But I had already committed to this, this journey, and I tell you, I challenged myself to believe differently, and I was more open and accepting, and had a great experience, and it opened me up to more travel and more travel and more travel. So I had a great experience, and I have great friendships from being involved in traveling, and actually not limiting my belief, my thoughts from what someone is afraid of, their own misgivings, and it's things that's not even based in any kind of fact, right? Yes, there can be some dangers in traveling, and but what I'm getting at is take a step at a time. Travel to a social event, go on Meetup, and go to social activities and gain new friendships, or build new friendships. It doesn't, you don't have to automatically start to connect with people, which I do on because I'm always on this podcast, and some people we automatically sync up and we start to do business another way, or we meet up with each other and be friends, and we talk, we plan things together. So you can always tell that when somebody's on your same level. You can always, and you're exposed to that when you are doing something outside of what you normally do, right? You can be exposed to different ways of thinking and living. Go outside the bubble, the normal bubble that you're always in. You don't go to it methodically. And I say this with no misgivings. Staying in a bubble only limits you, and it actually creates another belief system on top of this thinking that you already have, and it gives you another layer that you have to work hard, right, and get over, right? Another limiting belief is about success. We can only achieve success by hard work and sacrifice. Think about that. That's what we were given. That's the gift we were given. So, of course, when I as a kid heard that, I was like, I'm not working hard. No way. I saw how hard working my mother was, and she would just come home and lay down and go to sleep. Not doing that. And she had several jobs. Not doing that. I'm going to be great at one job, and I'm going to make it work and do a very good job, but I'm always going to work smart. I always thought about working smart, never hard, because that's a limiting belief. And that working hard, and you only achieve success if you work hard, right? And you sacrifice. Limits your belief that you can make a certain amount of money. Limits your belief that I need to be at my business 24 hours a day to make this work. And I've seen businesses fold because the entrepreneur or the business owner is so stressed out that they can't keep it going, that they don't trust anybody to do a better job than them, and then they end up suffering. So hard work and sacrifice is one of those anecdotal sayings that have no base to them at all. It's just being said. Those generational limiting beliefs are not just anecdotal. there's a scientific evidence to support the idea that these beliefs can significantly impact your life. And I know you're living it every day, right? You're living it every day. How come I can't get over this hump? What is this going on with me? But it scientifically, those things shape your brain and its structure and its function. Yeah, it can actually turn an influence on our behaviors and our decision making. Those generational limiting beliefs do that to you, right? So they have done a study, I think it's the Journal of Neuroscience, found that individuals who held negative beliefs about aging had a higher likelihood of developing Alzheimer's disease than those with positive beliefs. I've seen in my own life, people have said, friends of mine who have said, I don't want to get old, and they died young. So that suggests that our beliefs have a direct impact, right, on our physical health and well-being. Breaking free from generational limiting beliefs can be challenging because you first got to dig them up, because these beliefs are deeply ingrained in your psyche. And it takes some real gut-wrenching work for you to get these generational limiting beliefs that are passed down from generation to generation and the impact that they have given in your life. Okay? So how do you get started to really, get into this? There's so many other examples, like social class. And I think that's a great one because social class impacts your belief system. If a family has a belief that social class is fixed and cannot be changed, guess what happens to you? You, as an individual in that family, may not pursue opportunities for upward mobility. Or you may be discouraged from trying to improve your social economic status. It's that simple. But yet so hard, to kind of to fix it. Generational limiting beliefs also can impact relationships, not only with our own immediate families, friends, or romantic relationships, but ourselves impact self-perception. And I remember we talked about self-worth. Well, self-perception is with the roles that you are, and it will limit how you perceive yourself. For instance, a woman will, if a family has a belief that men should be primary breadwinners and women should focus on domestic duties, this can lead to you to generational role expectations and limitations. If a family portrays to you that there's no value in relationships, married or domestic marriages, then you won't form an acceptable relationship. You will always, why do I hate men? When you see in your own family women who have children but no man. It doesn't weigh out it doesn't align, right? And it doesn't have any value. It's a norm that puts pressure on you to actually live it out. So those are some examples that, of very limiting beliefs. So you have to acknowledge these beliefs and get your empty journal, and start to journal, what are my generational beliefs? and play this recording back to identify, to start to identify the ingrained values and identify them, right? Because it can be difficult to identify them, and it could be a challenge. So make sure that you can break the cycle of generational limitations and create a better future for yourself and future generations. Now, one way to challenge the generational beliefs is seek out diverse perspectives and experiences. I can't tell you enough how that experience in China and their perception on things against the Westerners opened my eyes to understanding my entire journey and the reason why I was there. It exposes you to different cultures. Nowhere in my wildest dreams would I have known that China has so many different religions, just as the Western world. And they are involved in being Muslims, and they're involved in being Catholic. They're involved in spirituality. There are some Christians, but not all. They kind of, when they come here, they become Christians, but they're normally taught spirituality and God. No one person is anyone's Messiah. They're just that's just a person of source and resource to how to develop and grow, and how to obtain knowledge. And I thought that was very enlightening to me. So I want you to begin to broaden your understanding and challenge yourself on your own biases and your assumptions. Now, the two that wanted me to talk about this was Cynthia Granger and Charlene Terry. So I want you to kind of, Charlene Terry or Charlene Williams. I'm so sorry, Terry. But I want you to start to look at your limiting beliefs. Spend some time, sit down, spend some time, just write it out. What is one, and work on that one. Don't try to, you can write them all out, but don't try to take them all at one time. You have to reframe what you're thinking and why you think it. And you say to that thought, this is no longer serving my life. This thought is no longer serving my life. I am able to break the generational limitation and break out into a different social economic status. I am able to make money at this amount. I am understanding why. You're going to begin to blossom out and open that umbrella, break out of that bubble that you're in, and start to seek education around it and resources to have personal growth and development, right? So that you can create a better future, so you can create a better life, so you can pursue your dreams to the fullest. It's a powerful way of changing your mindset, and change a way that you affect it daily, on your decision making especially. So I hope that I was able to alleviate some of your generational limiting beliefs and your understanding around it, right? And begin to use powerful tools. If you need any tools at all, right? Please let me know. And the final thing I'm going to give you is a little list that maybe you can allude to when you're starting to dig up yours, right? Your limiting beliefs. Examples for generational beliefs include: you have to work hard to make money. Marriage is a lifetime commitment, no matter what. You can't trust anyone outside of your family. Women are not capable as men in certain professions. You have to suffer to be successful. One that I would wish that everyone gets rid of is being an entrepreneur is hard and challenging. No, it's not. It's when you come out and be authentic within yourself. You will be authentic. It will be a different self-talk. It will be a visual. It will be something that you're positive about, and you will learn to delegate, ask for help. You will learn to network. You will invest in yourself to get a coach. You will invest in yourself to get all the things that you need to really branch out. All of this that you do, we need to recognize and acknowledge the limiting belief we have, and that we inherited it, and how that is impacting our lives. This is going to require from you self-assessment and a willingness to challenge your own beliefs. Not anybody else's, but your own. Okay? Once we are aware of our generational limiting belief, we can begin to shift our mindset and adopt more positive and empowering beliefs. This can be done through discovering new cultures and changing in their narratives, right? As a direct result of new social interactions. Self-talk, visualization techniques, positive affirmations like I am capable and worthy of success, or I attract abundance and prosperity. All of that can reprogram your subconscious mind and start believing in yourself. I remember wanting to know about other religions because I was brought up in, I chose to be part of the apostolic faith, which is a branch off of Pentecostal. And one thing I wanted to learn is when I started going to college, NIAC, one study that they gave us was to understand that all the religions have the same premise. So they made us go to they didn't make us. The assignment was to go to another religion and evaluate what you believe, what they believe, and talk to the head person and ask them a set of questions that they've designed for us to understand what that religion was all about. And I'm telling you, I went to every religion and I talked to the leaders, and I'm telling you, it was just so enlightening for me to know that the center of all of that other law and dogmatic things was God, and that was the core belief. And a lot of the leaders said all that we do is all law, it's ritual, but we have an innate God in us, and it's been there since we were born. And so why am I saying this to you? Because fear and uncertainty make us grasp onto certain things which may not serve us, and it may make you hesitant and anxious about doing anything in your life. But I want you to start taking calculated risks and embracing new experiences so that you can gain a greater sense of your resilience and courage. Get rid of those assumptions and question the thoughts that you have. Question, why am I thinking that I can't do this? And then open up your mind to transformative experiences. And I'm telling you, you'll have long-lasting changes, especially when you begin to travel step by step, travel out. And travel doesn't mean you can take a plane somewhere. It means travel outside of your old bubble. Get outside of that and expose yourself. I hope today that I said something that's going to be helpful to you in your self-improvement and self-development. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at ednajwhite11@gmail.com. You can also visit me on my website. You can hit me up on DM to ask me any questions, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. I hope to talk to you real soon. I think tomorrow will be, I'm looking at my paper, having clarity and confidence. I can't read my own writing. Having clarity and confidence, that will be tomorrow. So look forward for the video at 6:30. Bye for now.